What's the time? 3:48, almost 4 a.m. Sleep is for the weak. Someone said so, but I don't know what they meant. The results. Let's reset. Then get on this other side and show you on how you can actually be able to do it. So just need to refresh your PC. Right. So then later, okay. So what I want us to trade over markets. So we'll actually be trading, that is over 5 probably. Yeah, let's trade over 5. So just click select bot. So in case once you visit right traders, just click select bot like that, and we have these under robot, under 4 masterpiece, and we have over 5 masterpiece. So I want us to trade over 5. The previous trade that I just refreshed, I was actually trading that is under 4, but for this specific trade, let's do and that is over 5. Yeah. So we have already loaded the robot. You can actually see it right here. We call it, that is let me zoom like that. So you can actually see we call it the over 5 masterpiece. So the only part we need to set up is for the global share. For those guys who have new trading account and you log in on Right Traders, so once you go to the advanced Right, of course you'll not find yourself here. You just need to go to the virtual hook, and that's where you'll find the over 5 masterpiece or under 4 masterpiece, those two robots. So just for this robot, you just need to open the stop trading option. Let's set up consecutive losses to 4. You can work with the 4 or 5, whichever you want. Then let's go to target profit and stop loss guard. Our target profit will only do 200 USD. Our stop loss, let's do like 600. Okay, then close that option. Market volatilities, we can use any random volatility that you want. Okay, we can click there, switch to like 100, then cancel 10 1s. Okay, then let's go to the risk manager, scroll here, and we're gonna do a stake of 65 USD like that. Target and multiplier of that is a martingale factor of 2. So that is the only part you need to set up. You only need to set up the stop trading, target profit, market volatilities, and the risk manager. Everything else is well set up. But of course, I'll give you details on how you do, like you can actually, the robot is actually trading. Now let's get on this side, and this is where we get the results. So you just need to click this start button to start the execution. So it's either you go hard or go home. Yeah. So for this robot to execute a trade on over 5, we need to hit 4 consecutive virtual losses. Then in case of a loss, the robot will switch to over 2. Do hiyo sasa, boom, it's a loss recovered with over 2. In case you lose a trade on over 2, the robot will switch now to over 4. Do hiyo tena, boom, it's a win. Now floating at a profit of $62. Yeah, 3 trades, 2 wins, just 1 loss. So this robot is trading over 5. In case of a loss, we pull back to that is a less risky market, which is over 2, which is actually helping us to make a recovery. But the disadvantage is we don't get the full recovery. Do hiyo tena, boom, loss recovered with over 2. You can actually see over 2 market doesn't give us the full recovery, but at least it helps us not to easily blow up our account by the martingale keeping on multiplying and multiplying. Yeah? So then in case you lose on over 2 market, the robot switches to over 4 market, where you need to hit 4 consecutive virtual losses on the that is on virtual hook. Then the robot switches and executes a trade on over 4. Do hiyo tena, it's a loss. Now the robot has switched to over 4. Over 4, we need to hit 4 consecutive virtual losses. Yeah, 4 consecutive virtual losses. Then the robot will execute a trade on over 4. Just wait and see. Those are 4 consecutive. Right now we are trading over 4. Then the robot, once you make 4 consecutive virtual losses, the robot switches to over 4. Those are 3, 4, switch, boom, recovered. You can actually see that we are floating now to profit of $67. Yeah. So now the robot has switched back to over 5. So you just need to understand how this robot is working, so that at least you don't panic as you are taking your trades. Okay. Those are 3, 4, switch, boom, loss, recovered with over 2. Yeah, it's really enjoyable. Okay, so far we have taken 5. No hiyo tena, it's a loss, recovered with over 2. 3, 4, ndo hiyo loss, recovered with over 2. So the disadvantage with over 2 is that it's actually helping us. We cannot easily blow up the account because recovering with over 2 is a bit more easier. But now the disadvantage is that it doesn't give us a full recovery. You can actually see that. Ndo hiyo tena, it's a win. But any moment we happen to make a win on ndo hiyo, it's a loss, recovered with over 2. You can actually see it's almost a guarantee like you'll make a recovery with over 2. Now the disadvantage is that only that it will not give you ndo hiyo, it's a loss, recovered with over 2. You can actually see that. Yeah, so it's one of the best robot you can ever use. You just need to make sure ndo hiyo imepiga win. The good thing is even if over 2 doesn't give us the full recovery, any moment we happen to win a trade with that is on ndo hiyo tena target profit hit. Angalia sasa, we took 21 trades, 12 wins, 9 losses. So you can actually see that like when we are trading over 5, the payout is very high because you can actually see we are staking, for example in this case we are staking 65 USD and we are winning 82. Like the payout is way more high. But now in case we lose on under over 5, we switch back to over 2. Over 2 is a risky market. The chances of losing a trade on over 2 is actually 30%. Yeah, so there is very high chances of recovery. Then although it doesn't give us a full recovery, but at least at any moment we win on over 5, it actually gives us a compensation of the deficit we had for all the trades that we actually covered on over 2. So that's a good thing. Then in case you slip out of over 2 market, what happens next? The robot switches to over 4 market, where you'll have to hit 4 consecutive losses on over 4. Then the robot executes the recovery market. You can actually see we just bagged, that is 214 USD. Now how does this robot trade? So I just want to demonstrate something very retro. So you just need to go to, that is the stop trading, set up the maximum consecutive losses you can take. Personally, I normally work with 4. Then click the target profit or stop loss guard, set up your target profit here and your stop loss right here. Then you have the market volatilities. This is where you switch the volatilities. Just need to click like that, click the volatility like that, then cancel the previous. So you don't start by canceling before adding a new one. Then you have the risk manager. Click the risk manager, set up the martingale here, and this should be your stake. Okay. Then we have now, how is this robot trading? So this is not this information is not so much important. It's important to someone who just need to understand on how to actually use it, or someone who want to backtest the robot and do some their own custom adjustments. So market 1, if you go to trade definitions, you can actually see we are trading, that is over 5. We close that. Now if you go to the value, you can actually see we need to hit 4 consecutive value losses on over 5, then it will execute 1 trade on real. Yeah, let's close that option. Let's close market 1. In case we happen to lose a trade on market 1, the robot switches to market 2. If you go to trade definitions, you can actually see the robot will execute an over 2 trade, which you can actually see the value is actually disabled, so it will execute that trade instantly. Immediately after the first loss, it will execute the second trade without having to look for any condition. Then in case of a loss, the robot will switch to market 3. If you check the trade definitions, you can actually see this is over 4 market. Then if you go to the value hook, you can actually see the robot will have to hit 4 consecutive value losses, then executes 3 trades on deal, but it will only execute 3 trades in case the previous trades were all losses. In case the first trade is a win, the robot will automatically switch back to that is over 5, and that's how the simply this robot is actually trading. If you go to the market switcher, it's actually enabled, but you can actually see here the recovery. So that means we are trading market 1. In case of a loss, we switch to market 2. In case of another loss, we switch to market 3. But in case of a recovery, we'll just switch back to market 1. That's how simply it's actually working. And that's how we are able to develop this robot you call the over 5 masterpiece. You can also give a try, that is on this under 4 masterpiece. Let me just load it, this one, because it's very simple, just the same with the other one. This one is trading under 4 with under 7 recovery. In case of another loss, switches to under 5. So you just need to set up the stop trading, target profit, market volatilities, and the risk manager. Then just run it and see how best it actually performs. So these are the kind of results we got. Goodbye.